Hi guys, I'm Bridget and this is
Chris.
and
And, well, the topic of this week, we've just been to a movie. We've been to see Solo, the Star Wars story. Now, we'll promise you right now, we're not going to give you spoilers because it is just come out.
it is a brand new movie. We
Yeah.
just saw it and
It's only been out for a couple of days, so don't worry, we'll be nice to you. We won't do anything bad.
no spoilers, no spoilers.
You know, that'll come later.
We're in a pub by the way, which is really nice.
Yeah, we're in Covent Garden right now.
This
Opposite.
is not Covent Garden.
Yes, it is.
No.
It's somewhere close. But like,
Down there is Leicester Square. This way is Covent Garden.
we're in the middle. But like,
This one is Tottenham Court. Tottenham Court.
yeah.
Tottenham Court
Basically,
Road. Tottenham Court Road. That was in my mind.
if you're a Londoner, you know where we are in that sense. We're in between Covent Garden and Leicester Square. Easiest way to do it. So this will be our little non-spoiler review of Solo a Star Wars story. So let's just get right into it.
Yes.
What do we think?
Okay. Should I go first? Okay.
Yeah, go on.
So, it was well written, I have to say that. It makes you, in moments, think about these old stories of soldiers, and they're kind of, you know, when soldiers sit down and say, oh, I'm gonna tell you a nice story. Like, it felt like somebody was telling you a nice story from some combat in the Second World, War. And somebody was telling you, what happened to me, this and that, and I met this cool dude and this other dude, and, he betrayed me, and maybe it wasn't betrayed. Yeah, maybe not, but all this story, it felt like somebody's telling you an old story. And it was a real, refreshing thing to see that in a movie, because it felt natural and really, really connected. I connected with it.
Okay. Well, to give people a bit of my background with this, I was not sure about this movie when it first was announced, because, to be honest, it is Han Solo. It's a legendary character performed by a legendary actor, Harrison Ford. And when I first heard about it, I was a little bit questioned about it, whether do we need the story? Do I even want it? And then going into this, I kind of knew a lot of things were going to happen. Because in the trailers went into a lot about how, it's death-defying moments and how, you may not see these people again. But it's also dude, I know what happens. I've seen the rest of the movies. But I was genuinely surprised with some of this movie. A lot of it was good. Was good. The actors I thought portrayed were, but the writing-wise was predictable in some areas. You could look at it and think, I know where you're going with this. It's not that huge surprising, but from what it had to do and what it had to go through in order to get this movie to be released, I'm quite surprised it actually did really well.
I feel like they introduced this character in the best possible way, and they showed these emotions and this kind of you feel like you're in a way that this is the first time for him. He's creating this image and this adventurous character. I mean, he wants to be something and he goes to it really, really.
You're talking about Han Solo, right?
Yes.
Okay, just to be clear.
I mean, the character.
I
I feel like it was about survival a lot.
Yeah, well, it's survival for him as well, because not only did he have to be the head of his own movie, he had to basically take over a role that was Harrison Ford's role. No one else, how else do you see Han Solo apart from Harrison Ford?
You said Harrison Ford and stuff like that, but I felt like this movie was totally introduced. I can say to somebody, watch this first and then watch the others. Probably I will do that. And why I will do that? Let me say why. Because it has something real. It's not a movie that says, something will happen and everybody is happy. No. It's there are circumstances. You do that and something will happen. Something bad or something good will happen to you. It's not you will do this and because it's a movie, everything is gonna be okay. No, it's really, really makes you think about your real life. It was really connected. I felt I connected with the character and with all the characters actually, because it's part of growing up. I think this movie is everything about growing up, and we are in this age. where we are growing up and making this own character in this our own, who is gonna, what we are gonna be, where we're gonna stand, and he chooses where he's gonna stand.
True.
So it's really important before you see maybe the first Star Wars to see this one.
Well, I mean, if you want to look at it in that console context, maybe a little bit, but it's also like, I've dealt with Star Wars fans for years. I know what they're like. I know that they are absolute dicks when it comes to Star Wars movies. Like, there's the famous saying that I have not stolen from Star Trek. Who's the biggest critique of Star Wars movies? Star Wars fans.
Exactly.
Because they'll not like anything about it. I mean, because I can get the fact that like that you could try and see this as a different movie, a side movie else, but it's difficult for a lot of people. Because I understand about that, but it's also like you do kind of have to know Star Wars a lot, or at least a good bit, to watch this movie, because a lot of this is filled with like nods and little Easter eggs and little things where, when you think of the previous movies and Star Wars movies, you look and think, oh, so that's how that did it, which doesn't always work. It's very difficult with prequels, for instance, because we know that with the previous ones, where if you just do like little nods and just be like, oh, do you want to know how this happens? Most fans will just go, no, didn't need to know that, but okay, thanks now.
I understand what you're saying.
This was actually pretty good. Like when the Han and Chewie saw the Millennium Falcon for the first time. That's a magical moment. When you see them flying, when you see them interact with people. Donald Glover, by the way, mad respect to you as Lando. You've done well.
I felt like it was self-explanatory, like how you understand how. The beginning. I mean, I felt this movie could stand alone, guys. I really felt like that because it had a really good story. It had a really, really good plot character. The characters were really nice, organized, and really, really full, like in depth. You can see like everybody why they're doing what they're doing. Like it's really nice. Like it's in depth character. Like, and the writing again, like really, really, it was on point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially like through everything this movie's had to go through. I mean, especially like with the whole director debacle of Phil and Chris Miller and Ron Howard. Well done. You managed to get this movie out, and it's not terrible. But
He says that for me, it's excellent.
No, that's the thing. Like, it's good. I like it. But it's also like,
for me, it's excellent.
I know well the fact that it's not like they're not advertising it like this. It's not like a major Star Wars movie. It's not one of them where like I'm expecting greatness out of it. And
for me, that has all the glue
this was
and the swag that you need.
Yeah, that's the thing. That this is. In my heart, I went through this knowing, okay, this is a Star Wars story. This is just a little thing on the side to be like, this is still a good movie. Star Wars, unfortunately, it's its own weird thing where nothing's going to be as good as the originals, which I hate. But like, it's still a good movie. And I just.
What do you like about the original?
Well, that's I don't agree with that notion, by the way, that the originals are magical. But it's also like, I understand fans will be like, that's.
But what do you like about the original?
Well, I mean, I like the fact that it was literally an original story. That because one of the things that Han Solo in Star Wars is that he's a guy who doesn't want to be a hero. He's the guy who gets dragged into this war with the Empire and the Rebellion. He's a guy who meets Luke Skywalker and suddenly becomes the hero of the story by the end of it, which I was nervous about when watching this movie, just to be like, are they going to make him a hero? Because I know what happens. I know the fact, like, no, he's not a guy who just wants to get involved. He's someone who gets dragged into things, and they did that.
For me, it was all about this. No, for me it was different. For me it was like Han Solo was always this kind of guy who's like, I understand that he doesn't want to be a hero. He's a cool guy, He's like, I'm all alone. But this movie has the same feeling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This movie has the same. So
yeah.
It's not like they changed that in this movie for sure, but it has something. I don't know, the start. When you start the fire and it goes off. But it's like this is like the start of this kind of fire, and this is like how you say is not interesting but attractive.
Yeah, it was there.
It was attractive.
I suppose I'm getting it in the mindset of like a lot of Star Wars fans have been like a Star Wars movie should be an event. You know, it should be this big thing where it's like a Star Wars movie's come out. This is the thing you want to see.
But
And now that they are coming out every year,
it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
no, I agree. It shouldn't be. It should be just be a movie.
It will make it. Star Wars, if it's good, it's gonna be an event. Like it's gonna make it on its own.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, that's the thing. This movie's not bad. It's not the worst, and I will argue it against anyone because I've seen the Clone Wars. You know, but like, this movie is the movie is good. I like this movie a lot. I like the fact that out of everything that they did, it was amazing.
it was amazing. It was such a good visual.
I will admit one thing. Did I need this movie? Probably not. That's not a bad thing. That's
For
not.
me, it was a tragedy.
That's
If I
not- yeah.
didn't have this movie.
That's like with Rogue One. I
You see?
didn't need the movie, but I loved the fact it was there.
I will tell you something. You see the movie as really a fan that sees this kind of movie in the way, you know, if it's good or not good. For me, I connected with this movie, and every movie I watch, I connected with my own life. So if I see something and I see some kind of, it has, the universe is different, okay? The characters are imaginary, but if you see this moment, like of growing up and the realization of who you are and making your own character, everybody has its own story and it has a different version. I connect that with the movie. Like I can cry and watching it. Like I cried watching this movie because it's like when I see, yeah, I really did. Like when I see him struggling with wanting to become who he is, I see that in my own life as well.
Yeah, I get it.
From this point, I really need this movie as a young person. You know?
No, I get it, but I mean,
because it gives me hope. I see in every movie. In every movie I watch, I try to see that, like connected with my own life, connected with my own, experiences.
No, I understand that method of looking. I mean, because I look at movies like.
It's not the method. It's just like it goes with how I see it
No, but that's
and how I
that's true.
experience it.
That's your way of experiencing it.
Exactly.
Because,
I experience it this way. I don't experience it in a way that.
I mean, because I look
Oh,
at movies like
The,
I slowly look at movies like a critic in the sense of
You're a
like
critic, you see
I
the critical.
look at the good and the bad and the judge in the sense of like does the good outweigh all the bad? Does the bad outweigh all the good? Does everything does everything about to make it good? Because the whole point of being a critical mind.
you see, he does that.
No, but that's not a bad thing. It's the idea of like.
No, it's not a bad thing.
Is
but
this
it's
the
like,
best Han Solo movie we're gonna get?
I say yes.
That's it, and I say possibly.
You see?
Because I know there are lots of things where like this movie did really well, and one or two things where I think it could be tweaked, but not enough. But not enough to ruin the movie.
No, wouldn't take anything.
I mean, because
Any single
I mean, the one thing that I've looked at with other critics and such is that this movie is a little bit safe. That it plays to the beat, which is fair and fine because that's what Star Wars does.
I mean,
Anyone who has
it
complained
was
about that
everything
can
you
shut the hell
wanted
up.
to see. It was everything you wanted to see.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, like,
And everything
because
you will imagine.
that's the thing when you come to Star Wars movies, is that you're never going to win in terms of critique, commercial, anything. It's that everyone has their own opinion of what they think is going to be
Yeah.
the best. People want things to stay the same. Some of us want radical change.
Yes,
You know,
true.
this movie will appeal to a lot of people and may not appeal to some. But the point is that it is good.
It is
We
a
both
good
liked
movie.
it.
It is a good movie. We liked it. We enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And
And I mean,
I'm waiting for the other.
well, I'm excited in terms of like what's been announced in terms of other spin-offs because if you didn't know, there's going to be a Boba Fett spin-off.
Exactly, yeah, it's gonna be.
I'm hoping for an Obi-Wan spin-off with Ewan McGregor because I would want that so much.
Human McGregor. Okay, come
Do
back.
that spin-off and I'm fine. I'll be fine with
Come
that.
back. Yeah, come back.
Just also to point out because we also got these when we were at the cinema we went to,
Isn't
little
that
cards.
awesome? It's just awesome.
If you wonder about the shape, watch the movie, you'll wonder why.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been it so far. That's been our
amazing.
non-spoiler review of Solo, a Star Wars story. I don't know if one of us will make a spoiler review or not, but we'll tell you when we find
Yeah,
out.
we'll tell when we feel
Yeah.
if it's needed or not. But I think it was a good time.
It was a good movie. It was a good prequel Star Wars
Good
movie,
prequel for
which
me.
is good.
It was brilliant.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it, guys.
How you look at it. It's how you look at it.
That's it, guys. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of us. We
Yes.
have our own channels as well. She's at Bridget Joe.
Bridget Joe.
I'm at Chris Smith. I'll try and link them up.
Bye bye.